Today's subject is about my last video of making about Christianity. I mentioned many times already that I really want to know about the Bible, and so I have read Old Testament 70 times and the New Testament 130 times. So I spend a long time to know and understand the Bible. Then when I found out Genesis chapter 36, 31, and the king of Israel, then how could make a king of Israel in Genesis? What that means is, if Moses wrote down this one, then it doesn't make sense because when while Moses was alive, then there was no Israel king. And the second question is, Abraham called from God from Chaldea, Uru, and Chaldea is equal to Babylon. Okay, so in other words, Babylon is established. This country was set up. 800 years later, Moses died. Therefore, Moses could not write Genesis. Then who wrote? That was my beginning of questioning about the Genesis. And when I listen to some a Korean pastor's sermon, that okay, according to Bible, Genesis about the creation short. In other words, I have to make a short sermon about the creation. So I commented him that okay, Chronicle, First Chronicle and Second Chronicle long, and are you going to give a lecture long sermon about the Chronicle? He didn't answer me. He owed me something, but he didn't answer me. Now, what about the reality in a Jewish group? And I got one book, and I do not want to mention about the book that is about they was not written by me. And then according to the book, then many synagogues and rabbi do not believe Exodus and Genesis. They do not believe crossed Red Sea. They do not believe either. Why? Because that's mythology. Now, many people have not talk about a Bible with Jewish people, and then they just read Bible alone and listening to sermon from the pastor, things like that, and then they believe this is correct one. However, when you when you meet with let's say a Jewish people, and they know ritual, their ritual, like things like that, they understand, they memorize those kind of well. But in my opinion, the patient of me, and as an acupuncturist, and some patient come, and I love to talk about the Bible with them. Then when I ask them about the Genesis, many people have not read Genesis by himself or herself. They just hear the stuff. Then, wow, how could they, did not read the Genesis? That was my question too. some of them, of course, much, much better than me. But, most of them, they have not read that. Then we know that I live in New York City, and then there are many Jewish synagogue there, and I hear at least once every 3 months that somebody wrote Nazis like this one in painting in their synagogue, or sometimes they try to make fire on that. Why that kind of a thing happen? In my opinion, that there's a two scenarios, and many many people work with Jewish people, and maybe there's not good relationship with the Jewish person, so they want to revenge to something instead of him something else. That's one scenario. And second scenario is that okay, when I read Bible, Jewish people kill my Messiah Jesus. Oh, so they are my enemy. So that's why they painted Nazi picture, or try to making fire. Sometimes they hit the bed, things like that. In my opinion, that kind of action must be stopped. Now, when I found out, okay, Genesis itself is mythology. It's not true story. So no matter how good sentence after that, if Genesis is fake, everything is fake. Just a good book. I agree with that. But when Genesis is fake, body without the head, then Jewish people just believe what they believe. That's their tradition. That's what they want to. Leave them alone. You don't have to bother with them. Then when I talk some Jewish people, most are good people. Obviously, some are bad. What about American? Most American good people, but some are bad. The same ground. There's no good, no bad people. Every country, every people, almost the same. Most of them are good, but some are not good. I have not, met any, Nobel Prize winner or super rich man. I never, in my condition, I never meet them. But most of them, it's just like us. Just average people working hard to make a living. However, that some Jewish people in even in Israel, what I understand very super conservative group is about 8%. However, even though they do not communicate with the secular world, but they have kosher phone, but many people exposed to smartphone. Then when they search around, they look at all kinds of a thing exposing from there. So they do not want to smartphone at all, but they use a kosher phone, just calling. Now, almost the same kind of group in America too. when you go to Pennsylvania, there is a religious group called the Amish. They do not want light in the home, but they need calls, so they put up a public phone outside the phone. So when they need, then they go outside and use the phone. But one thing funny, when they become sick, they go to hospital. My question is, why don't you pray? But they go to hospital. So this is my point. Some people, some people attacking a Jewish group because of they are Jewish people killed my Messiah, Jesus. But now, if Genesis just a fake story, then they going to be angry, and this anger will lead to revenge. Now, this revenge must be stopped. I can allow you one. Go to someone who told you, believe in the Bible. You can complain to that person, but not Jewish group. This is, you choose to believe Bible. And that person who told you, you gotta complain to him, not Jewish people. So my long journey about the Bible. This is my last video, and this another kind of Holocaust should not be happen. Must be stopped. Okay. Thank you so much for my long video. I made more than 100 video about this one. So what I hope is you have to be awakened. What is truth? Okay? Thank you so much for your watching.